There comes a moment in life when a person gets tired of simply surviving and starts wanting something more. Not luxury, not fame, just a chance to breathe without worrying about tomorrow. This is the story of a young man who discovered that sometimes one small skill can quietly change an entire life. His name was Zack. Zack was 24 years old and worked at a grocery store in the middle of a crowded city. Every morning before sunrise, delivery trucks arrived behind the building, and Zack spent hours unloading heavy boxes filled with vegetables, drinks, and frozen food. The work was exhausting. His back constantly hurt. His hands were covered in small cuts from lifting broken cartons all day. But the hardest part wasn't the physical pain. It was the feeling that no matter how hard he worked, his life stayed exactly the same. At the end of every month, almost all his salary disappeared into rent, bills, and groceries. Sometimes, he looked at his bank account and wondered, how can someone work every single day and still feel stuck? Zack lived alone in a tiny apartment above an old repair shop. The ceiling leaked when it rained. The kitchen light flickered every few minutes. Most nights, he ate cheap instant noodles, sitting quietly near the window, watching strangers walk through the streets below. And every night, the same thought returned. Is this really how my whole life is going to be? Zack wasn't lazy. He had dreams. Years ago, he wanted to become successful, enough to help his mother stop working long cleaning shifts at a hospital. He wanted to travel someday, maybe even own a small business, but dreams slowly become smaller when life keeps disappointing you. One afternoon, during his lunch break, Zack sat in the storage room, eating a cold sandwich. Around him, coworkers were talking loudly, laughing, scrolling through their phones. Zack usually ignored them, but that day, one sentence caught his attention. "I'm serious," Tyler said. "My cousin quit his warehouse job because of this. Now he works from home, making thumbnails for YouTubers." Someone laughed. "Wait, people actually pay for that?" "Yeah," Tyler replied. "Big channels pay good money if your thumbnails get clicks." Zack looked up, quietly. That night, after returning home exhausted, he couldn't stop thinking about it. Making thumbnails. Could that actually be real work? Curious, he opened his old laptop and searched how to design YouTube thumbnails for beginners. Hundreds of tutorials appeared for the first time in months. Zack felt something different. Not excitement, not confidence, just curiosity. But almost immediately, doubt followed. "I don't know anything about design. I'm not creative enough. People like me don't succeed online." He almost closed the laptop. Then, he remembered something his mother once told him. "You don't need to see the whole staircase, just take the first step." So, Zack made a decision. Every night after work, he would practice for 1 hour. No excuses. The beginning was frustrating. His thumbnails looked terrible. The colors didn't match. The text felt awkward. Some nights, he was so tired. He wanted to quit after 10 minutes, but he kept showing up. While others watched movies or scrolled through social media, Zack studied colors, lighting, emotions, curiosity. Slowly, he improved week after week. His designs became better, cleaner, stronger. One evening, Zack uploaded a few samples to a freelance platform. He didn't expect anything. For almost 2 weeks, nothing happened. Then, one night, a message appeared. A small YouTuber needed 3 thumbnails. The pay was only $15. Zack stared at the screen. part of him felt excited. Another part felt terrified. What if I'm not good enough? Still, he accepted. He worked for hours, adjusting fonts, fixing colors, moving text, pixel by pixel. When he finally sent the designs, he couldn't sleep. The next morning, the reply came. "These are honestly better than I expected. I'll send more work next week." Zack just stared at the message. It wasn't about the money. It was proof that maybe his life didn't have to stay the same. Months passed, morning, grocery store worker, night, thumbnail designer. It wasn't easy. Some clients disappeared, some rejected his work. His laptop crashed more than once. There were nights. He questioned everything. One rainy evening, he sat alone, staring at his screen. Maybe this is pointless. Maybe nothing will ever change. Then, his phone buzzed, a message from his mother. "Proud of you for trying." Zack smiled. She had no idea how much he needed those words. So, he kept going, month after month. He improved. More clients came, more work returned. 1 year later, Zack was earning more from thumbnails than from unloading trucks. Then came the hardest decision: stay safe or take the risk. For days, fear followed him, but deep inside, he already knew. One cold morning, he walked into the manager's office and placed his resignation letter on the desk. His hands were shaking. "You're leaving to design thumbnails?" the manager asked. Zack smiled softly. "Yeah, I think it's time." The first few months were difficult. Money was uncertain. Fear still showed up late at night. But something had changed. Zack was no longer trapped. 2 years later, he had clients from different countries, a steady income, and enough money to move his mother into a better apartment. One evening, she looked around with tears in her eyes. All this from one small skill? Zack paused, then smiled. No, from not giving up on it. And maybe that's the real lesson. Most people wait for a big opportunity, but life doesn't always change loudly. Sometimes it changes quietly. One skill, 1 hour, one step, repeated every day. Zack didn't change overnight. He changed slowly. While everyone else thought nothing was happening, never underestimate consistent effort, because one useful skill, practiced long enough with patience and discipline, can turn an ordinary life into something extraordinary.